Hey guys, I want to talk to you a little bit today about how to handle a woman in the budding stages of a relationship with her. This is a very crucial time in just getting to know somebody or trying to work your way towards some sort of, let's say, continued or meaningful interaction in a romantic sense with them. This is definitely something I think every man that walks the face of the earth has screwed this one up at some point in time, so don't feel bad if you've done this one in the past. I certainly have, and like I said, this is a very common thing that all of us make this mistake, but I just wanted to put this out there and maybe talk to some younger men that might be listening so that just maybe you're aware of this. And I want to give you an analogy that hopefully will stick with you and will make some sense as it relates to this concept of, as I said, this very early initial stage of getting to know a woman. Now let's just say that I'm talking about this point in time from when you very first met her. Let's say you got her number and you just started getting to know this person. If you over pursue and do too much too fast, just go way full bore, foot down the gas pedal from moment number one, you're going to send this woman running for the hills. And like I said, we've all done this one. We've all put in too much effort early on. We've been overzealous. You've been super excited about this new person in your life. And it's really sad when this happens. Like I said, you put too much into it too early on, and you just end up scaring the woman off. And the thing that I want to stick with you guys, and the analogy I want to give you, is you have to look at the woman like a cat, like an animal, just the same way that a cat behaves in a sense. And what I mean is, if you're in a real world setting, and let's say you see a cat, just walking through your front yard or something, and you have this desire to pet it or make friends with it or whatever, or you're over your friend's house or something even, and the cat's there, you just want to pet it and have a good time with it and get to know it a little bit in the same way, ironically enough, that you probably do with this woman in your life. I mean, think about the way that you handle that situation. If you go running and screaming and waving your arms and really aggressively charging towards that cat, what is the behavior of the cat going to be, right? You already know this. That cat is going to dart out of the room or down the street and get as far away from you as it possibly can. And this is the exact same thing that happens when we're dating and you're way overzealous, way too early on. If you do those sorts of actions, if you put too much forward in your pursuits of this woman in the very beginning, and probably really arguably throughout the extent of your relationship with this person, you're gonna scare them off in the same way that freaks a cat out. No woman likes that. It's just, that's not the way to go about things. But by contrast to that, waving your hands in the air and yelling and screaming and charging towards the thing, think about the more sensible approach of approaching that cat once again in that situation I just described. I mean, you probably already know that you're probably just going to stand still. You're going to make very slow movements. You might not even take a step towards it, and you might just stick out your hand, not even with your palm, just with your palm, facing towards you, so the cat doesn't think you're going to grab it or something like that. You just stick your hand out, and you give the cat a chance to kind of slowly saunter up to it and sniff it. Take a quick little sniff, and it's going to back off, right? And you just leave it there. You don't move, you don't freak it out, you don't do anything weird. The cat slowly starts to sniff it a little bit more, and then before you know it, the cat has become comfortable and you can start to pet its head a little bit, and it's kind of relaxing, and you're still you haven't done anything crazy. You haven't tried to pick it up, you haven't tried to make any loud noises or do anything bizarre once again, and slowly the cat allows you to pet it on the head. And after maybe the second or third time you've seen this cat, it's warmed up to your presence, it knows your smell maybe, and you might eventually get to that point where the cat allows you to pick it up, and maybe it's sitting in her lap, and you can just have this pleasant moment of just having this animal in your lap kind of thing, and the thing is totally relaxed at that point because of the way that you went about pursuing it. Right? And this is, like I said, the analogy that you just need to remember, as strange as this might sound, to you, the woman behaves a lot like the cat with everything that I've just outlined and described. So you have to remember this concept when you're just trying to start something with somebody. it is this kind of like back and forth game where you're going to make a small, slow advance. You're going to give them a chance to warm up to you a little bit. Don't do anything erratic though. Don't do anything crazy. Don't go overboard. Don't go overzealous. Just let the cat come up to you when it wants. Let the woman, come a little bit closer to you as she wants. And, not every situation is going to go your way. You can't win them all, but I guarantee you'll lose every single one of them in those cases where you're charging towards the woman in this fashion that I've just outlined to you. So you have to learn to walk this line appropriately. You have to know when to step on the gas a little bit and pull back a little bit and put the brakes on a little bit. But you just try to observe the cat's behavior in the same way. Try to observe the woman's behavior. Does she seem weary of her? Is her behavior is she keeping her distance? Is she inching her way towards you little by little? You need to start to cue into those things and play off that, and just be conscious of those, as you're pursuing this person or trying to get to know them. And just, if you can remember that analogy of the cat, I think this will make a lot of sense when you're out there dating. And I'm certain, because I've seen this in my own life, and I'm sure that any guy on this earth that's found his success romantically with women would agree to a large extent with this concept of the way that you need to approach a woman when you're very first starting to get to know them. I mean, think about this. You're going from being a complete stranger you just met online, or maybe you met in a public place or through a friend or something. This person barely knows you. You need to give them a little bit of time, a little bit of leeway to come to you when they're ready. So just keep that cat analogy in the back of your mind. Try to control your emotions and your desires and your urges and all these kind of things. You have to do that. Otherwise, you're not going to get what you want most likely out of the situation if this is a girl that you really like. So I hope that helps you guys. Hope you're having a wonderful day. We'll talk to you real soon.